Welcome to the Reality Trifecta podcast. I am your host, and I am coming to you live from my office as always. And today we are talking about Survivor 49, Episode 6. We start off the episode with a tribe swap. And it's crazy how there's like 3 tribe mats and Jeff is like teasing a merge happening. No, that was not the case. So the tribe switch happens and we're bringing back Uli, the tribe. On New Uli, we got Christina, Alex, Nate, and Sophie Segretti, Sophie S. And on Kelly, we got Sage, Shannon, Jawan, and Steven. And on New Hina, we got Sophie B, MC, Savannah, and Rizzo. The RIZGOD Rizgod baby. Before the tribe swap happened, or after, Christina had a little episode because of how hot it is in Fiji. I have no clue what it's like to be out there, so the weather is real. And it could really mess with you if you don't take really good care of yourself. So to start off with the episode, they did a reward challenge. And it was a pretty interesting challenge, I gotta say. Them pushing the carts, them adding on sandbags that made the cart heavier. And it's making them go over tiny bumps. And there's a ladder on the cart that they had to climb up just to get 2 discs. Well, they get 4 discs throughout the challenge to use them to throw at these sticks so that one of the tribes can win the challenge for a grilled cheese reward. I love grilled cheese. My mom makes the best grilled cheese. So does my grandmother. They were always a good after-school snack for me. So you have Hina and Uli, I think. Wait. Yeah, I was right. Hina and Uli, they win the reward. They get to have grilled cheese. And Kelly, back to their losing ways, they get nothing. So, let's talk about the whole dynamics here. With Uli, you got 2 yellows from former Hina. You got members of the former Hina in Christina and Sophie S. And they're sharing the tribe with Nate, who is on the outs, and Alex, who, on the other hand, has worked with both Sophie S. and Christina from their old tribe, who has been a number for them. So, in this scenario, Nate is in the outs. Then you have the new Kelly, where you have Sage, Shannon, and Jawan. They were original Yuli. And then you have Steven, who is a former Hina member. I'm getting my words mixed up with former and Hina. Gotta work on that. So, on that perspective, it does not look good for Steven. But Sage is still considering getting rid of Shannon. So, will there be a plan in motion for that? Then on New Hina, you have MC telling everybody that Sage told everybody that Rizzo had an idol. Now, Rizzo knows about it, and he's like, good. I'd rather have people know about it so that I can instill fear in them. And I've always wanted to be one of those players. which I'd say is pretty ambitious. And I did say in the last episode that whether or not Sage telling people that Rizzo had the idol could bite her in the butt, but we shall see. We shall see. And I liked the Rizzo's analogy on like how it's like the middle school lunch table. There's gossip talking about who's the hottest girl or who's the hottest guy. That information spreads everywhere. And to see Rizzo, by the way, using the diver's gear to catch fish was very funny. He hated using the flippers. He's like, I'm like a baby trying out his first steps. And I thought that was very funny. Alex, you had a segment with him trying to catch fish, and the fish he caught looked like it was some Pacific fishbowl fish. That fish was really small, just for them to eat. If I was them, I'd catch a shark, but a small shark. So, what are you gonna do? Then you go to the immunity challenge. I thought that immunity challenge was pretty interesting. Them going over the net and those who went above the other side for going down. That was like a huge wipeout for some of the contestants. And then you have them working on the puzzle maze. And it looked like Blue had like some momentum, but then they lost all of it completely. And you had Blue and losing the challenge. I'm like, come on, guys. And Jawan, like, he panicked for a little bit during that maze puzzle segment. Then you go back to Kelly's tribe camp, where they're talking about maybe getting rid of Jawan just to, like, find some middle ground between the Yuli and Hina war. Like, so instead of voting out Steven, they would vote out Jawan. But Sage still wants to continue putting her plan in motion to vote out Shannon, saying that Shannon was the one throwing her name out when they were on their last tribe together. And that was just enough information for Jawan to have for a reason to vote for her. And she understands that Jawan is really close to Steven, and Jawan could really tell Steven to do that. So then you get to Tribal Council, and it turns out by a unanimous vote, Shannon leaves. And you could tell that Sage was done with Shannon. Like, as Shannon was giving everybody hugs, Sage was like, I'm only going to give you a handshake. I will give you a genuine hug later, which I thought was pretty savage. But Shannon was like all right with being voted out. I thought that was a little off. So that is like the end of that episode. And looking at the previews, they are gonna be merged. And this is the part of Survivor that finally gets interesting. So I look forward to see what that has to offer. Well, I thank you all so much for listening, and I will recap the next episode next week, and hope to have you guys listening to this podcast again next week. And follow us on Instagram, X, or Twitter, whatever the heck you call it. And subscribe to us on YouTube so that you can listen to this podcast. All right. Hope you all have a great day.